All right, let's dive right into a huge idea today. And this one, well, it's going to challenge a belief that a lot of us, myself included, probably hold as a core truth. We're talking about a phrase that has basically become the absolute mantra of the modern age. It's the go-to principle for how we think about living an authentic life. You know the one I'm talking about. Live your truth. I mean, you've seen it everywhere, right? On tote bags, all over social media. You can't escape it. And the idea behind it seems so simple and empowering. Truth is personal, authenticity comes from deep inside you, and hey, if it feels true to you, then it is true.
Okay, but what if that's not just wrong, but a complete fundamental misunderstanding of what spirituality is even for? Today, we're digging into a source that takes a literal sledgehammer to this whole concept. And the central claim is, wow, it's jarring. It says, personal spirituality is a modern contradiction. It's not just saying it's flawed, it's arguing it's a total contradiction in terms, like saying dry water or happy misery. The source is basically saying these two words just can't and shouldn't exist together. And why is that? Well, it's because we've started to see spirituality as the ultimate piece of private property. It's all about my journey, my awakening, my connection. It's become this thing we customize to fit us perfectly, kind of like a bespoke suit for the soul. And hey, if it pinches a little bit, no problem, we'll just get it tailored. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? What's the alternative? Well, the source argues for a return to something it calls impersonal spirituality. Now let's unpack what that actually means.
I know. That word, impersonal, it sounds awful, doesn't it? It just sounds so cold, so distant, like getting a rejection letter. But hold on. In this context, it's a structural term. It just means something you can't possess, something that isn't and can never be yours.
And this is where we see the core difference. The ancient view sees the sacred as this massive, awe-inspiring cathedral. You don't own it, you can't change it, you just step inside of it. It's a structure that contains you. But the modern view, it treats the sacred more like a talent, something that comes out of you, an extension of your own unique personality. So here's the danger, the crucial point. When we make the sacred something that comes from inside us, our own self becomes the ultimate reference point for everything. And let's be honest, if your God or your highest truth sounds exactly like you and just so happens to hate all the same people you do, you're probably not connecting with something larger than yourself. You might just be worshiping a mirror.
And this leads to another huge problem the source points out, how we start using spirituality not to transcend the self, but to decorate it. Think about it. We start using these spiritual labels like accessories to build our personal brand. Oh, I'm into mindfulness. I'm a traditionalist. I'm spiritual but not religious. It becomes another way to signal who we are, to make ourselves feel a little more interesting, a little more evolved. These labels, they just become decorations for the ego. The source has a great word for this, instrumentalization. It's a mouthful, but it just means turning something sacred into a tool to get something else you want, like using meditation just so you can be 10% more productive at work. That's not really engaging with the sacred, is it? It's basically using a profound spiritual technique to wax your car. And that brings us to this powerful line. Whatever serves the self is no longer sacred. The second a practice becomes a servant to your goals, to make you calmer or richer or more focused, you flip the script. You've made yourself the master, and by definition, whatever serves you can't be sacred. Now, this isn't to knock self-improvement at all, but the source draws a really sharp line between, say, therapy and sanctity. The goal of therapy is to heal the self, which is absolutely vital, necessary work. But the goal of sanctity is totally different. It's to relativize the self, to knock it off its pedestal, to demote it from the center of the universe. So how can you tell the difference in your own life? Which path are you on? Well, the source offers a super simple litmus test, and it all comes down to the kind of question you instinctually ask.
Okay, so the modern question, the consumer question, is always, what does this mean to me? When we come across a new idea or a spiritual teaching, we immediately scan it for its personal utility. How does this help me? How does this fit into my lifestyle? We're the customer, and truth is just another product on the shelf.
But the ancient question, it completely reverses that flow. It asks, what am I required to become in relation to this? See the difference? This question assumes that the truth is a fixed, massive reality out there, and you are the raw material that has to be shaped to align with it. Here's a fantastic analogy to make this crystal clear. Asking, what does this mean to me, is like buying a painting. You own it. You decide where it hangs. It serves you. But asking, what am I required to become? That's like joining an orchestra. You don't own the music. You certainly don't change the score. You have to subordinate yourself to the score to help create something beautiful and bigger than any one person.
And that is the goal here, participation without possession. The idea is to be part of something magnificent, something transcendent, by letting go of the need to own it or control it.
So I get what you might be thinking. This ancient view. It sounds kind of tough, right? It offers absolutely nothing to the ego. There's no fame, no special status, no quick fixes. But here's the paradox. It also offers this profound sense of relief. I mean, the pressure to constantly invent and curate your own truth, it's exhausting. Stepping into a structure that already exists can be this incredible liberation from the full-time job of being the god of your own tiny universe. So it all comes back to this one foundational principle. The sacred isn't something we find or create inside ourselves. It's defined by what stands apart from us, something we can take part in but can never, ever own.
And so I want to leave you with this final, really challenging question from our source. If you were to strip away everything about your spiritual beliefs that serves your identity, that serves your ego, everything that makes you feel special or safe or superior, what would be left standing? And would you be willing to bow to whatever that is?